I'm going to pour out my ham pieces that I'd had in the freezer. Just cut them a little, just a little more. If there's any skin, not skin, but a little bit of fat and that kind of thing. I always get that off my ham if I possibly can. And just put the good pieces. I'm kind of like Julia Childs in a way. I got one pot that I love so much, it's going to go, it'll be buried with me. Cause, okay, that looks pretty good. It don't matter about a little bit of fat. Don't want to waste nothing. Okay, we'll take that and we'll put that in our pan there. Get that going. And that's kind of like we did our gravy. Okay, and I use these in my red beans. I get this great value season blend. It's onion, celery, red pepper, green pepper, and parsley flakes. And I had this left over from a few days ago. So what I'll do is I'll just put that on out of there. Before I add water, because you're going to have some water with that. Get this mess cleaned up. Now I add just a little water just to deglaze that pan, kind of. I just want to get all that kind of marinated together. Now we get that. Those will cook on down and get that onion mix will get soft. So let's do about 2 tablespoons of salt, 1 tablespoon of pepper. Because this is going to be kind of a big pan. So we'll do, sure smells good. That's about a cup of water. I'll just let that kind of marinate there for just a minute. And I've soaked my beans. I picked them, soaked them, and put them in the refrigerator. Because you let them swell up overnight. I used regular, as we call them down in the south, pinto beans, which is your brown bean. And then I put a kidney bean. Just to, so what I'll do while I'm going to get my strainer, when I use for flour, I use it for a lot. I need 2 or 3 of them. And I'll rinse these off one last time. Every time, make sure there's no old dirt or We'll just add them into our pot there. We'll go ahead, stir them down in there. Well, you can do this in an Instapot. Yes, you can. You sure can. Yes, you can. But I chose to do it today on the stove. So now I'm going to put my other I'll put that on about a 4. Let me get another cup of hot water. Might add 2. Let's see. I got 2, but let's see. We'll go ahead and put the 2 in there. Stir that around with our onion mix. Now we'll just let that, and onions and all that, just cook down today on the top of the stove method. And I'll put my lid kind of on there. Let me get this mess cleaned up. Remember, we gotta clean our mess up. Today is bleak and bleary, and well, I hope everybody's safe today. You never know in this crazy world. Trying to get this cleaned up, and some days I can do it, some days I just feel like falling over. But I make it with the good Lord's help. I make it. I make it. Mother, I hate to say, has another, I took one of those little samples. So say a prayer for her. She's got another UTI. That's just something reoccurring in some elderly people. And I try to give her water, 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 but when your bladders is not emptying, and your pelvic floors, they say, you get weak, you'll have UTIs, women especially. And I try to do everything I can to help her, and we make it. But I knew when I did that little test strip, she said she thought she didn't feel good, and you can tell when they start sleeping a lot more, they get kind of, not really dementia, but kind of. You need to check out that UTI, because it probably is. And that can really be bad on an elderly lady or man. Well, I'm checking the beans. There are beans. You see that ham in there? That ham. They're cooking down. Of course, we got probably another 45 minutes, I'd say, and then they'll get real, they kind of start to thicken. We'll turn them down to about 4. Keep coming by, and I'll check them and stir them. See how that water's getting kind of muddy looking? Well, that means that it's making its bean gravy. That's what I call it, bean gravy. Our biscuits and gravy, my mama thought they were really good. She enjoyed them. Okay, let's check our beans and see if they're done. Let's put them out in my lid. See how that just goes right in to that bean, squishes it. And by the time that had just a very little crunchy crunch, But by the time that sets in that water, what we'll do right now, I'm going to give a little test spoon. We're going to test the juice. That'll tell us. Gotta cool it because I don't want to burn my mouth. That's hot. It's got plenty salt, plenty pepper, enough juice. I'm going to go ahead and turn them off and let them just sit there. And those will be some good, people call them soup beans, I call them just a good pot of beans. Cap on that, what I did is I picked my beans out, got any bad ones out, got any old hulls out. I set on the counter and I pick them out into a bowl. Then I take about 2 tablespoons of baking soda and I put that shake it into my bowl of dry beans. Then I fill that dry bean up with water into that bowl that you saw at the first of this, and I let them set overnight in the ice box or out on the cabinet, then put them in the ice box. Then I brown my ham, I brown my onion medley from Great Value, the onion, bell pepper, red pepper mix in the bottom of my bean skillet pot. Then I add water to deglaze the pan, just to get that good juices and flavors. I add salt, pepper to my taste. Then I'll rinse my beans one last time, put in about 3 cups of hot water into my pan and my beans, and put them on about medium. And these have been cooking for about 45 minutes to an hour, but you can do the bean test to see how done they are. I don't leave my lid on the whole way because I don't want it to overflow, so I just leave it kind of cracked. If I can't, then I'll put a spoon in it kind of like that, just so that it don't decide to spew over when I'm not in here. So now I've got the beans cooked. They're going to sit here and rest, and the more they rest and cool, the better that juices will make they'll thicken up and make a kind of a good bean juice to put up with our cornbread or whatever we decide to make. But that's how we get good old country red beans and ham. I hope y'all have a good day. If I decide to do cornbread, I've got recipes on here for cornbread, so I probably won't do one. Just go to that video of the making cornbread. God bless y'all.